Hello everyone, MarcusWolfe here, welcoming you all back to another episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. I have bad feelings about this person we're staring at right now. And I don't know if I mentioned it, I don't remember if I mentioned it, but I will now. I don't think this is Iris I'm talking to. There are just some things that rub me the wrong way, especially with how she reacts when we point out certain facts to her. It's very much like Dahlia Hawthorne, and I don't have any solid reason to believe that yet, but it's a bad feeling nonetheless, and if I am talking to Dahlia Hawthorne, well, that's gonna open a whole new can of worms, that is for sure. Anyway, after Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition, so I removed the body from the inner temple myself. I then dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. That's when I used a snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple, and I used a Shichishito to alter the way the wound looked. No.
So you moved the body?
Yes. I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe them a great deal thanks to the Fey clan, but even so, I never imagined that Elise Donham was actually Misty Fey. I've committed a terrible sin.
A terrible trick of fate indeed.
I believe the saying you're going for is twist of fate, Your Honor. I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but
You were spotted by the head nun, correct?
Yes, that's why I couldn't go back.
Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, please go ahead with your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. No, she just told an extremely obvious lie. Like, a lie so obvious. You really are not Iris, because Iris would have known that. You just told a super obvious lie. The question is this an instant where I am borrowing from a future testimony by mistake? Or not future testimony, a future issue by mistake, or can I prove it now? Because I've done that before where it's like, oh, well, I was one issue too early with this claim. So I'm just gonna have to ask her about these other questions just to make sure I'm not, doing that. But I think I know where the problem is. After Mystic Elise died, I called her to Mystic Maya. So you waited until everything was over before making a move? No, it's not like that. Also, I'm noticing now, she's tearing up repeatedly. This is so... No, you are Dahlia Hawthorne, and you're pretending to be your sister. Nothing at this point now can convince me otherwise. I don't remember ever seeing Iris tear up like this, like crocodile tears, like saying, I'm a beautiful lady and I'm crying, so you must believe me. It's like crocodile tears. That's Dahlia Hawthorne. You're Dahlia Hawthorne, girl. I just wish I had evidence for it, which I don't know how I'm gonna prove that she's a dead woman. that's gonna go well with the court. Hey, a dead woman testifying. No, it's not like that. She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes, Trite. It's not surprising that she was a little timid.
Yes, I suppose that is true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion.
But isn't it your job as judge to mediate? It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on her what she'd done. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition. So, you knew. You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey. Yes, of course I did. That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position. Anyway, she was a very special person indeed. So, I removed the body from the inner temple myself. And why would you do that? Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected. I thought the best thing to do would be to remove the body from the crime scene.
So you moved her body all by yourself?
Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow. The snow? I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Well, I must admit, it's pretty amazing that you made it all the way across. That is a rather rickety old bridge. It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age. It's like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold. But there's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into Eagle River? It would have been much easier than dragging it all the way back to Hazakura Temple. I thought that it would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to take the body as far away as I could. Makes perfect sense to me. For the time being, that is. Anyway, what did you do after crossing the bridge? Then, I used a snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and... The snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later. Yes, I had the key. I used it to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge. And this is the part that was in question yesterday. Should I be asking for more details? Yes. Ooh, about the tracks? No, I don't think I need to ask about the tracks, simply because... Sorry. Simply because I think the tracks is self-explanatory. It makes sense. She went there when it was snowing, when she went back it wasn't snowing. Makes sense. How about the snowmobile itself? Let me hear more about this snowmobile ride. Well, it was very cold that night, so I rode it all the way to the foot of Dusky Bridge. Sorry, witness. But now I've got a problem with your testimony. Excuse me? Godot? What are you up to? That night, after the head nun left the remainder of the training to you, she said she walked from the inner temple back to Hazakura Temple, in which she said the snowmobile was not there.
Yes, I'm fairly certain that's what the record indicates.
Then let's recall her comments on that subject. Maybe. But when I made it back to Hazakura Temple... It was right there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. Exactly. The snowmobile was in front of the main gate. This is one of those contradictions, wouldn't you say? Again, something that Iris should have known.
Order! Mr. Godot, why are you pointing out contradictions in the witness's testimony?
Let's just say, I like things to be neat and tidy, okay? Well, maybe Sister Bikini just missed it. It's possible she just didn't see it. You think she missed it? But that doesn't sound right. Whatever. Even I don't think this is decisive enough to warrant any more time or effort. It's just... You'd better be careful in your testimony. That's all I wanted to say. A smart little cookie like you shouldn't have any trouble understanding that. Yes, sir. What was that all about? Why would Godot want to give me a hint?
Very well then. let us continue with the testimony. So you transported the body by snowmobile all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard.
Yes, I thought that way Mystic Maya would never be suspected. That's what I thought anyway. And then I used the Shichishito to alter the way the wound looked. Is that what you were doing when Sister Bikini saw you? Yes, that's right. She probably thought the worst. Probably. More like definitely.
I see. So Sister Bikini mistakenly thought you were the one who murdered Miss Donim.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. It's my fault that this case has gotten so confusing. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me here. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why? Why do that? Well, there's only one reason I can think of. That you're not Iris. You are Dahlia Hawthorne. But that still doesn't explain why you would want to pin this crime on Maya. At least not that I can think of. I'm now firm in the belief that you are Dahlia Hawthorne. And the one thing that clued me in was this. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Dahlia, sorry. Misty Faye died between 10:30 and 11, I believe the report said. Remember what happened to the bridge? It caught fire at 10:45. If we are to take the second half of the time of death, you could not have crossed the bridge because guess what? Where is it? This is it? Guess what? Lightning from approximately 10 to 11. Lightning struck Dusky Bridge at 10:45 and it's been burning ever since. Girl, do I have to spell this out for you? Iris would have known this. She knew the bridge was on fire. You don't. That was the wrong button. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, too early, I guess. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Okay, so that's too early. Okay, sure. Okay, then how about I ask you about... No. How about I ask you about the tracks? Because Godot said that the snowmobile is not conclusive enough to really warrant further questioning. What about the tracks? So, if you really did move her body via the snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right?
Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks.
This picture was presented yesterday. Are these the tracks from that ride? Yes, I think they are. But I can only see one set here. I don't see what's so strange about that, Mr. Wright. Snow was still falling when I left Hazakura Temple.
I see. Snow was still falling, huh?
And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks.
Oh. Well, how about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony?
When she came back, there were fresh tracks, which makes sense. It stopped snowing at around 11? Well, I already used it wrong, so I can look at it. 7 to 10:50. Lightning struck at 10:45. So that would mean you return. No! No. It stopped snowing at 10:50. Lightning struck the bridge at 10:45. No, the bridge was rendered impassable. It's very important, so I needed the tracks. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped? Well, that doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I like the statement Iris just made added.
But does it have anything to do with this case?
I believe all will be clear once it's allowed to be added to her record. Well, this should be fun. You. Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Can I now present the weather data? Oh my god, okay, nope. Oh no! The moment I suss you out as Dahlia Hawthorne, I have trouble. This is bad. Okay, what is the prompt here? I'm sorry, but Iris, there have been a lot of contradictions so far in your testimony. Are you sure this time that everything you say is true? Yes, I am. So when the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear. That's right. I'm certain of it. I think I've trapped her this time. I see how you think. Snow, huh?
What's going on here?
The snow really had stopped by the time of the murder. It'd mean there's a bigger hole in her story than the movie The Grid Revelations. Well then, Trite. Perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us. Let's see what's up your sleeve. Or rather, at the end of your index finger. I get it now. No, I get it. I needed her to specifically testify that when the murder took place, the snow had stopped. That's when I can talk about this. Because now, in her testimony, she has given us a time frame. It had stopped snowing. Which means by the weather report, it was past past 10:50. Do I have to press her here, or can I present the evidence? Okay, yeah. So, no. I think now I can present the weather data report, because you have now just testified it had stopped snowing. Okay, yeah, I was literally missing a piece of testimony, so I was on the right track, but I jumped the gun. Stupid! That was stupid. Okay, so you're claiming that the snow had already stopped by the time the murder occurred. But I'm sorry, Iris. That's impossible. What? This is the weather data report for the night of the murder. According to this, snow didn't stop falling until 10:50. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time. Why do you say that? Something you should know, girl. Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught fire. What did you say? The bridge was on fire.
You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down.
What? But it can't be. It looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney. No! Iris knew of that. You don't.
Order! Order!
The bridge was already on fire when this incident took place. That's right. The inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. So there's no way you could have crossed that bridge, body or no.
Witness! Even my patience has its limits. Any further line and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
The only person here that's truly contemptible is you. Old man.
Me? How dare you, Mr. Godot?
Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing is to find out the truth. Isn't that right?
Yes, of course, Mr. Godot. However,
whether it was snowing or not, or whether the bridge was burning or not. There are two facts that can't be disputed. One, the body of Elise Donham was discovered in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Secondly, the head nun's sister Bikini witnessed Iris desecrating Elise Donham's body. He makes a good point. That's right. I'm not lying.
What are you claiming this time?
I wasn't myself at all that night, so I'm afraid my memory is somewhat hazy. Iris, you have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you now telling us that your memory of that night is hazy? Objection! It is only human to err, Wright. If you're so perfect, then perhaps you can explain this to the court. What? When the murder occurred, the bridge had already burnt down. And yet somehow, the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. So perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this convenient magic trick. Not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across that burnt-out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we're never going to get to the truth.
Well, it looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable counter-argument.
You see what I mean? In other words, you are in no position to suggest this lady's testimony is a falsehood. Ah! You know, he's right. How does a dead body cross a burning bridge?
Right then, witness. Let us hear your testimony once more.
About what, Your Honor?
You've admitted thus far that you've moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony has contained a large inconsistency. So please, add an explanation to that in your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. Will this be her final testimony? Something tells me no. She's gonna lie again. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So, I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Does it really matter all that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross a burning bridge?
So it was just a misunderstanding.
This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken the morning after the incident. Wow, that is burned out.
Well, it certainly was burned to a crisp. Yeah, even one of the suspension wires have snapped. It's amazing the whole structure didn't fall. Clearly, it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition.
I mean, it's a burned out husk, yeah. But unless I do something to discredit this, it's going to be deemed as the truth. Maya will be accused of murder. Right. I'm only going to say it one last time. It's only human to err. And only humans can spot the errors of our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes.
Alright, Mr. Wright. Please, begin your final cross-examination.
Unfortunately, it is kind of easy to explain the snow away because it's a matter of 5 minutes. God damn it. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. Yes, but if the snow had already stopped by the time the incident took place, I couldn't have crossed the bridge, naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Godot said. The body did make it across somehow. So, I must have just gotten confused, I suppose. But you seemed quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said, and I quote, you were sure the snow had already stopped. I'm terribly sorry, but I was wrong. Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook for this? Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Does it really matter all that much? Iris, this isn't a joke. You're giving sworn testimony in a court of law. Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago? Huh? Well, naturally it was, You see? It's not that easy to remember, is it? But, nevertheless, if it had been some kind of special day, I would have definitely remembered. For example, it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduation.
Objection!
No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, Wright. What? By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over that one statement, then let us see some proof. Proof that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Mr. Godot is correct. Are you saying that there is a way to cross a burning bridge? Well, I don't see why there couldn't be a way across. Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly? A dead body crossing a burning bridge. Did anyone actually witness such a thing? If there was, I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness. After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something. I've come all this way, so I owe it to everyone to figure this out. But how do you transport a body across a burning bridge? Even I don't know the exact... even if I don't know the exact answer yet, it's fine. I'll start by examining all of my evidence and see where that takes me. I've gotta be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm as good as dead. No, I figured it out, and it took everything in my power to not gasp. Larry. Remember what he witnessed? He witnessed the flying nun scene over the burning bridge. As impossible as the flying nun scene is, I do believe he was telling the truth. He has no reason to lie or make up such a fantastical story. So how did she fly across the bridge? How did Elise Donham, Misty Faye, I'm sorry. How did Misty Faye fly across the bridge? I mean, Phoenix is right. We don't have the evidence, but... Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. We don't have the evidence to say directly, but we do have something that can point to a possibility. This horrible sketch. A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? You're saying it's possible. Don't make me laugh, Trite. The only thing possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. In other words, your ass. I don't know about that. But in any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous! Who is it? Who is this witness? Can't chicken out here. You gotta keep on the attack and go, go, go! Miss Elise Donham's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice, Laurice Donham. Brilliant? Highly gifted. Apprentice? Remember what he said in his testimony yesterday. That night, he was at the Mountain Shack, Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen this sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night.
Are you serious, Mr. Wright? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it? Are you seriously trying to claim that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument?
Ugh. The judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Well, Wright. Nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old. Does this sketch really prove anything? Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, then why not start with this sketch? Damn. Why would he say that?
Alright then, let us hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show?
I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Right, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. This sketch drawn by Laurice Donham is...